Hi, this is Clem, producer of the REC Experience podcast. I've edited myself in here at the start just to warn our lovely audience that we had a bit of a technical issue during the recording of this podcast. Unfortunately, there is a glitchy echo that occurs during most of the show. We humbly apologize for any inconvenience in the listening experience. However, once you get used to it, you'll forget it's there. So please stay tuned because this really is a good one. Cheers.
Hey, thanks for being in the REC Experience. I'm your host, Jas Takhar, with your girl, Laura Elto Stewart.
Hey, Jasmine.
What was the energy today? Was it like an early morning?
I'm just mad.
You're just mad at the world? Mad at me, is it? So I thought the fresh fade, new beard look was going to bring a lot of energy.
No. I just have more access to that head of yours.
It's too much?
It's too much.
It's too much. How's everything going though? Good. We're busy.
We are busy.
It's busy.
September.
It is. It's getting cold.
It's getting cold. So I got
the fall colors.
Wardrobe out, which I love.
As you guys have been hearing me mention recently, go check out Laura's fashion posts on Instagram. What's the profile?
Laura Stewart TL.
And you did do a Fashion Friday post, I noticed, but you did it on Saturday.
I did it fashionably late.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. That.
Girl's got to be fashionably late.
Got it.
You got to make an entrance on Instagram. Give
the viewers and listeners an update on Rudy. I know he finished his got the surgery done.
Yeah, got the surgery. He is now 1 week into his 12-week recovery period. So we still got a long road ahead, but essentially the first 2 weeks are the most key, making sure he doesn't get infected and make sure that he accepts his body doesn't reject, I should say, the plate and the screws. But quite honestly, he's like running around like the idiot he always is. Like, it's ridiculous. You can't keep him calm. And he's on like a lot of Prozac drugs to keep him relaxed.
For anyone who doesn't know who Rudy is, Rudy's essentially the unofficial mascot of REC. And so
I'm going to make him the official mascot.
Well, sure. Today's podcast, Mr. Brad Lea, top CEO, sales coach, an amazing podcast. Clem, make sure you drop the description below. I believe the name of the podcast is Dropping Bombs Podcast, because he drops a lot of fire content, and he did in this episode. Obviously, I was super excited and pumped to have him on because, like, I'm a natural born salesperson. I am. But look, Brad teaches a lot and has coached a lot of top salespeople right across the world. I did, and you guys will get in you're going to actually hear and see, if you're watching, a live role play between Brad and I. Like, and that was kind of cool, right? Because usually I'm doing.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, right. Like,
I was in the room while you recorded it, and that was awesome that he did that.
And usually I'm the one who's doing role plays with our team, and okay, sure, I look.
The listeners can let us know.
Yeah, how about that? You leave us a comment. Did Jas get schooled in this episode or not? Make sure you leave a comment. As always, the feedback that you guys are giving us really helps us to decide on what topics to discuss, on what guests to bring on. There's a lot of content that's also being produced that's not on YouTube. Or if you're listening to the podcast, like on iTunes or Spotify. So what I'm trying to tell you is you need to get to our other platforms. Are you following me, Laura Simos, REC on Instagram? Search us. Are you following us and receiving our newsletters? If not, it's quite easy. Just go to jastakhar.ca/real. That's REEL. But what I'm really, really pumped about is our new text community. It's actually the easiest way to get a hold of us. Ask us any questions. You have maybe some fashion questions for this girl.
Yeah, we want to be wherever you guys are.
I like that. And I know you're on your phone. Like, I just know that it's 647-372-0126. Make sure to send us a text. Be part of our all-new text community. It's where we give you access to exclusive opportunities, giveaways, and tons of inspirational and motivational content. As always, let us know how we're doing, and make sure to go follow Brad Lea.
Enjoy the show.
Don't cut that.
I didn't know you were done. Oh, man.
Go do your thing, Clemmer.
REC Experience presents Real Estate, Entrepreneurship, Leadership with your host, Jas Takhar. The REC Experience podcast is now on air.
Very excited to be joined by Mr. Brad Lea, podcast host of Dropping Bombs podcast. Love the name, by the way. Up and coming book, The Hardway. We're going to talk about that, what readers can expect to learn. And first and foremost, I would say the biggest thing, and you'll tell me, Brad, I think it's what you're most known for, is the Closer School. He is Mr. Closer himself, Brad Lea. How you doing today?
Man, I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking.
One of the main reasons I started this podcast a couple of years ago is because I always wanted to allow others to be a fly on the wall with conversations that I'm going to be having. And most importantly, I like to still learn. I've been in sales and service for 25 years. I do think I'm a closer myself and I'm really good at it, but I get to learn a lot from what you're up to with all the content that you're pushing out. So kudos to you and congratulations with not only producing the amount of content you do, but how valuable it is. And this is coming from another sales guy. And so how did kind of the journey start for you, Brad? How did sales start for you?
I got a really difficult job, man. A hard job, blisters, all that type of thing. And ultimately that made me realize I don't like labor. And so I opened a newspaper and found this job. And from getting poison oak and stuck in the eye with sticks, breathing in ash, to freaking getting free Trans Ams to drive.
So what was the first sales job?
My first official sales job was selling cars, Williams, Wilson, Pontiac, Volkswagen. Although I did a sales job at 7 years old selling candy bars in my school, kicked everyone's ass, outsold everybody. So that was first sales job. But the real one, it was right after, busting my ass, that manual labor, hard job. And again, everybody blamed me for quitting. They're like, you're stupid. This was the greatest job. And now I'm thinking, how was that the greatest job in the world? I would get cut and bruised in ashes and poison oak. It was stupid. Like, if hard labor is your idea of the only thing that's out there, you need to realize everyone's a salesperson, whether you think you are or not. Okay. You're a person, whether you are or not. You're selling since the day you're born. You're selling, hey, I need a nipple. The second you pop out, you're selling somebody on your hungry. Okay. So you start selling people along the way, man. Change my diaper. You're selling them. You just do it by screaming. At the end of the day, everyone's a salesman. And the difference between a good one and a bad is the bad ones don't know doing it.
Now, I got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, so I can attest to it, my man. And me too. Like, school was not for me. I love school, the class thing, and my listeners and viewers know that. Do you think, everyone is a salesperson? We come out of, our mothers needing to sell and getting through life. What happens? Does it stop for some people? Like, they can't continue with it? What do you think it is?
I think what happens is develop the. I think it's a downfall, but I think we develop the fear of other people's judgment through growing up. I think we start to worry about what other people think rather than what we think. And I think people have had experiences from jerk-offs they're masquerading as sales professionals. See, most people go a salesman, high pressure. That's a salesman. Most people will think, oh, you're a closer. Oh my God, you must be high pressure. Be egotistical. Well, why is that? Why do people think that stereotype sells that way? Well, because at some point in lives they had some sort of awkward experience where they dealt with a dickhead, not necessarily a salesperson, but they dealt with a jerk, dealt with an ass, and they blamed their profession. It's, this guy's a dick because he's a salesperson. No. That guy's just a dick. You're blaming it on sales profession. A professional, kick-ass, great person is also a salesperson. You wouldn't have had that experience. So I think people stereotype because they've had a bad experience, or they fear other people's judgment. They don't have any confidence. They don't believe themselves. So what do they do? Oh, I hate sales. I'm a very good salesman, but I'd never sales. Well, if you break that down, why? Why not? Well, they dealt with some dick that freaking was in a high pressure awkward situation, and they don't like awkward situations. You know, the introverts are sometimes the best people. Yeah, introverts make incredible salespeople.
Why do you say that?
Well, because they're more empathetic. You know, they're listening. They listen more. You know, it isn't about talking. It's about listening, asking the right questions, gathering the information you need to build value problems. But that's why I think they don't really want to do it. They're already doing it. That's the thing part. You're a salesperson when you think you are or not. So if you hate salespeople, you hate yourself.
It's so true. I have a sign here that says removing friction. It's a reminder for my 33 realtors and 10 support staff that our job really is not to sell. It's to make it easier for people to buy. And I'm not going to say I coined that. I mean, I took that from, I think it was Woolworth, who said that, look, he's not that good at selling. He makes it easy for people to buy. I think it's by listening. The fact that we listen, you ask more questions. Somebody must have read a book 50 years ago, 75 years ago, and thought you need to be pushy as a salesperson.
Yeah, well, you know that's happened before.
In car sales, I did that for 3 years. I was blessed enough to be in that business for 3 years. One of my favorite. I always tell people who are starting out in sales, and that's probably the best place to start because you have the ability when you're starting out for people to walk in. You don't need to go hunt at the start, anyways. It's a good way to learn. What did you pick up from car sales? I'm curious. Just kind of one car sales guy to another. You did it at a much bigger level. You're a lot more successful than I ever was at it. But what did you love about that business, man?
Everything. I mean, personal. I enjoyed the camaraderie. You know, the brotherhood of standing out and making each other, and you know, the competition. You know, I learned to communicate. I learned sales techniques. I learned patience. I learned, you know, I learned a lot. Like the car business is a great business. I always say the same thing you did. I call it like it's a great boot camp. Well, you know, people that stayed in it, and you end up a dealer, and you make, you know, you have a license to money. So it's a great business to even stay in. But I started in it, and it gave foundational methods and rules for sales 101. Like, you know, there's basic steps to a sale. There's and they go with you. Like, again, I mean, you know, you sell something, there's steps to sale no matter what you sell. And 9 out of 10, it's always the same. People are like, what do you mean? Like, for example, steps to a sale. What most people think the first step is the introduction. Well, it's not the first. The first step is preparation. If you're not prepared, you shouldn't be doing it. Okay, so preparation until physical. What does that mean? That means look at your shoes, dude. If it looks like a baseball tournament, fix them. You know, look at your face. You know, judge yourself because you're about to get judged, right? If you're not smiling, that's a problem, dude. I tell people, smile. If you got so many teeth missing, it looks like your tongue's in jail, man. You got to smile. You got to look good, smell good, feel good. You got to be mentally prepared, physically prepared. You have to freaking have clean clothes, press clothes. Again, I didn't say that they couldn't be one thing or another, but dude, they got to be clean and pressed no matter yourself. Do you know your product knowledge? Do you know your industry knowledge? Do you know your competition's knowledge? Are you prepared? That's where it's. What do you sell before you sell anything? Sell yourself. Sell yourself on yourself. A lot of people have that problem. They don't really like themselves, and they're not aware of it. They go out there and then they suck ass for 3 months straight, and then they quit and they go get an hour wage job and then say, I suck at sales.
They just weren't prepared enough. Now, I've always thought, and I really want your thoughts on this, man, that sales is more of an art than it is a science. for me, and I'm looking for you, and I got to be upfront, have not dove into the closer school yet. It's something that my team has brought across to me, so I'll be looking at that a lot more.
I just warn you, don't do it, dude. It's literally allows people to make more money, and I never want that to happen for you.
Everybody who's watching and listening, got to make sure you get to the Dropping Bombs podcast as well as the Hardway, and we're obviously talking about closer school. The art and the science of it. How do you teach this? How do you teach the art of the sale?
Well, I mean, first thing I do is I repair usually the person. I'm not just making you a better closer. I'm making you a better human. Teaching you things I've learned the hard way for 50 years. You know, how do you repair a relationship with yourself? How do you identify you have a problem? A lot of times people develop ego, so they don't think they have a problem with themselves. They think they love themselves, when in reality, they don't love themselves. They've rationalized and caused that to be the belief, but it's really not. So if you're unaware, how are you supposed to fix it? What if I'm unaware I have lettuce in my teeth and I'm sitting here smiling at girls trying to get dates and I don't even know there's lettuce in my teeth? How are you supposed to fix it when I don't exist? So the first thing I do is kind of take an account of where you are, or who you are, what you're doing, what are your goals. I have these things called 5M gauges, M gauges. And it just, anytime you're stuck in it, man, just go check the M gauges. It's going to be within one of those gauges that your problem. First gauge, first box, mindset. If your mindset sets right, dude, you're going to have a hard time climbing. Okay, the second one is your map. Like, where are you going? What is your idea of success? What do you want? Is there clarity? You have to have clarity. As soon as there's clarity, the next step, the next gauge is your motion, the actions that you take. Your daily habits. What are they? Okay, if your habits are literally documented, you'll know these are going to take you to your goal or away from your goal. If you don't know what goals are, well, now you have a problem in the map gauge. So you've got the mind, the map, the motion, and the measurement, and so if your money's the problem, I know a lot of people that make a lot of money, but they blow it. They don't invest it. So guess what? 10 years later, still broke, son of a bitches. They got a problem in their money gauge. Okay, they know what to do with it. They're blowing it. They're trying to spend and impress others. They're doing all these things wrong because they don't have good grasp on money gauge. So if you use those 5 M's, okay, the gauge to find out what your problem is, every one of your problems is always gauges. So like you're thinking, well, like for example, what? I'm not enough money. Okay, let's just go start looking at the gauges. Is it your mindset? Do you believe you can make as much money? Because if you're like, well, no, I think it'd be impossible. There's your problem, kid. There's your problem. Let's start there. So now you get the mindset right. You get the belief right. And it's like, okay, I do believe I can make it. Usually that'll be the problem. If it's not, go to the next box. Go to the next gauge. See what's wrong with the map. And you have clarity? Yep, I know exactly how much I want. Okay, it's not clarity. It's not map. Let's keep going. Is it your emotions? What are you doing every day? Nothing? Oh, there's the problem right there. You're not doing the work. Okay, and then the next one, measurement. How do I measure everything so I can get the optics and the data to navigate? And then the one's money. You know, what am I finally doing with once I get it? Because trust, I spent years making a bunch of money and blowing a bunch of money, and I was broke at another level, right? Like I had nicer shit, but I was just as broke as everybody else. Okay, why?
You got it and you spent it. You got it and you spent it.
I earned it and I spent it. So I'm driving around in nice cars, living in a nice house, looking like I was rich. Well, guess what? Would you rather look rich or be rich? So my problem growing up was my money box. I made it, but I didn't use it. Okay, so I screwed it off, and it took me way long to become quote unquote rich. So at the end of the day, those 5 gauges may keep you completely unstuck in life if you just remember the problem is in one of those gauges. Just review, because a lot of times I ask people this and they're like, I don't know what to do, and I'm like, if people don't know what to do, let me help them with where to start looking. So it's like, if you don't know what to do, check your gauges. Just like flying in an airplane, man, and you're losing altitude. What do you do, man? You start looking at gauges. What the hell's going on? We need gauges in our life. Those M gauges will freaking solve you.
I'm glad that you put mindset first. It starts there for myself during this the lockdown here in Toronto, Canada. We got locked down around March 18th. Went on a news diet for the right after the first 2 days. We have a prime minister here. To stop listening to him, I was like, okay, this guy's not going to pay the bills. Started focusing. In the last 65 to 75 days, we've been able to put in a little over 54 contracts for real estate investments / purchases. I put that all on the fact that I shut out that extreme noise. How do you help someone through that, Brad? Like for the hundreds of thousands of students that you had on that mindset part, like how does somebody get over like shutting out the noise?
Well, number one, I don't really do anything for people because they have to do it for themselves. I just simply try to give them information, give them the awareness where they have enough information to make a decision, because ultimately a decision, it's a choice. You don't find happiness, you choose happiness. Okay, you don't find a way to be happy, you choose to be happy. Okay, so I just bring people to a level of awareness, and then they're the ones that do it. They're the ones that make the decision and the choice of action. If they don't, I can't make them. But when it comes to talking about, that negativity, I have this thing called the 6, but one of them is to block that shit out. And the reason you block it out is because if every day you're allowing it into your head, what goes into your head is basically what comes out. So if you let negativity and doom and gloom in, that's what's going to come out and manifest it.
How do you protect yourself from letting negative shit in your head?
Number one, I'm aware.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm aware that that's what happens. I'm aware of the poison. Okay. Most people aren't aware of the poison. They listen to life. They listen.
I love that you called it poison. I like that word. I haven't used that word in that sense, so I appreciate that. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I mean, but you gotta be aware that it's a problem. But thing I do is get aware, and then I'll flip it on you without you knowing it. So like, if it's first, if it's someone that I don't need to be around, I just cut it out. If someone like my dad or my brother or someone that, I love my wife, or, if someone that you love and you can't necessarily just cut them out as easily as that, what you do is you block out. Okay. And the way I block it out is you can say anything you want. My mind will take what you said and re-spin it in a positive manner inside my head. So basically my ears are a filter. I hear negativity, it lands positively. You know what I'm saying? You can say anything and turn it into something positive. In my head, I don't have to say it to you. Okay, but if you say something, damn, man, this cove is scary, dude. Nobody's buying anything. I want what you just said. It'll turn into completely something else. I see, like, for example, someone has COVID and they're complaining. I'm like, dude, I've never had more time to spend with my kids. I've never had more, or I've never had less miles on my vehicles. I've never gotten lunch so quickly before. It's unbelievable. Like, normally I have to drive to eat lunch. I have to drive to work. We got to stay home. We got to spend time with I got to go to lunch. I mean, it was amazing. I love COVID.
When did you, how did you get that awareness? For the viewers and listeners, I hope you caught on to how many, obviously you put in a lot of reps in the mind, Brad, like for you to have those filters, for you to be aware. When did Brad be able to have those filters? Like, when did that evolution happen? When did you realize, fuck, I got to be aware to not let people into my head?
Well, throughout the years, bro, I'm like 51. I got underwear.
You look good, my man. You look good.
I got underwear older than you. Eventually, you just learn the hard way, or you'll learn the smart way. So I'm writing the book the hard way, so people can learn the easy way. And again, there's no shame in learning the easy way. We gotta unlearn all the crap that we've been taught. No, it's not worth anything unless you've worked hard for it. That's bullshit. Give $1 million. I'll take it. It's worth $1 million whether I earned it or not. Like, dude, trust me, that's a lie. So at the end of the day, you have to learn some things. And fortunately, as we grow older and we experience more things, we learn through failure, through challenge, through pain. Well, I've had a lot of that, and I've learned from it. And eventually, when you said when, I don't know when, but at some point in time, I started to realize, whoever says life is hard and believes it, ironically enough, makes it true. But then there's people that I think, and look, they've got a hard life, but they don't believe that. They don't think that. And guess what? They don't. Like the other day, I was helping this dude, okay, homeless, troubles, blah, 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 blah. I'm the shittiest little freaking apartment. And dude thought he was living in a mansion. And I'm thinking, dude, this dude's life sucks. Dude thought his life was freaking upscale. Okay. What's the difference between opinion and his opinion?
Nothing.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Well, again, I can think this dude life sucks. Go ask that dude if his life sucks. And he doesn't think it sucks. Guess what? It doesn't suck. I think it sucks, but not him. So at the end of the day, your perspective is everything. It's like there's two kids. One's in a room full of poop. The other one's in a room full of poop. Like shit. One's got a positive mindset, got a negative mindset. The dude that's negative is pissed off. The dude that's positive, happier than hell.
Playing in the shit. It's all perception.
You walk in, you say, dude, what are you so mad about? What do you do? You stuck me in a room full of shit. Why wouldn't I be mad? Yes, the other guy, hey, why are you so happy? He says, with all this shit, there could be a pony here. Okay, so at the end of the day, dude, one looking for a pony and one bummed out. Well, dude, they're in the exact same situation. How can there be two different outcomes? Perception. And by your perception is technically a choice. So it boils down to the choice you make, determine the road you take. Okay, you don't find happiness. You don't create happiness. You choose it. Don't eat for like 5 days, and I'll give you a Ritz cracker. You're going happy as a mofo, ain't you? Okay, and then someone else could be in there with all this steak and caviar and what they consider lots of food, and they'd be like, dude, you're happy with a Ritz cracker? What's wrong with you? How is that possible? Perspective.
I love it. I'm so happy that you put up so much positivity and optimism out there through your content. What has putting out so much content done for your business, man?
What is what?
So much content. You produce a lot of content that, as I mentioned earlier, very valuable. It's something I speak about on this podcast. It like doubled my business in a very short period of time. Just speaking, getting someone like yourself on my podcast, it grows my business, grows my viewership and listenership. What has it done for you? Because sometimes my viewers need to hear it from someone like yourself.
Well, I think anytime you can get attention for positive attention, it helps grow your business, referrals, networks, because it boils down to relationships, and the more relationships you have, the better off you are. Especially in folks, like the more handshake, the more money you make. Everyone says, how do I make more money? Shake more hands, meet more people. What does that mean? Don't try to complicate shit, dude. If meet more people, go to them, introduce yourself, find out what they do. Lo and behold, you've got a product or service can help them. Sales made, more money's made. Why? Because you more people, you met more people. Your network is bigger. Your referrals are more often and more of them. It's like, dude, you want to make more money? Meet more people. Not rocket science.
You can't get stuck behind a computer all day long, right? Like if you want to make more money in sales, you got to go out, take those hands. It's belly to belly.
Well, unfortunately, preparation is a step that's required. How a lot of people get stuck there. They get prepared, but they never execute. I know people that went to school 12 years. I'm like, what are you going to school for? What are you doing? I'm going to be this and I'm going to be that. It's like, dude, shit. Why don't you just start, man? Like when they say doctors, they practice medicine. They practice for years. I'm like, when are you an actual doctor? When are you done practicing? You start actually doing it, huh? But in doctors, obviously, they call it practice because they're constantly learning, and that's what you should do. But I can promise you this: I make more than doctors, and I did in school. Matter of fact, I dropped out in the 11th grade. Everyone said I was going to be a loser. Nobody believed I'd be a millionaire. Nobody believed that a little blue collar kid from a small town was going to amount to shit. Why? Well, because that's what people believe. The difference, I did. Okay, it doesn't matter who says you can't, as long as you're not the person saying it.
The Hardway. What can readers expect? When's it coming out? Now, very excited. Myself, and what can readers expect?
Readers can expect out 200 pages, maybe 20 plus chapters of lessons I've learned the hard way, so you don't have to. It's stories that basically show you why I believe what I believe, and sharing with you tactical things that you can apply in your life immediately and make an immediate improvement. And the funny thing is you're going to learn this shit anyway. But you want to spend all time and money and mistakes and pain learning it. Well, then don't get the book. Okay, you'll learn the shit. It's universal truth, man. But the way I say it and the way I present, the analogies I use and the stories I use make it easy to understand. Because again, people just don't understand. I make it easy to understand things. But it's a compilation of life lessons, man, that make people better people. And when you become a better person, you get better results, you get better experiences, you get better friends, better relationships, better compensation, you get better toys, you get better. There's a difference between good choice makers and bad. Like, in other words, you look at somebody, let's say they're homeless, divorced, alcoholic, pothead, whatever you want to say. Look at somebody. You can judge somebody by their choices. Like, if you see someone homeless and they're doing bad, I guarantee you, dude, their decisions are bad. Okay. Why are decisions bad? Decisions are bad because they didn't learn something correctly, or they believe something that's causing them to do it. Because watch, if you want to change what you're getting, change what you're doing. You want to change what you're doing, you got to change what you believe. The reason you do what you do and choose what you choose and act the way you act is because you believe, regardless of whether it's right or wrong. That's why you do what you do. That's why you get what you get. So if you want to change what you're getting, change what you're doing. You want to change what you're doing, change what you believe. How do you get to what you believe? You got to seek new information. You got to learn new things. Are you getting up every day seeking new information? Because most people don't. Okay, it's part of my $1 million morning, dude. Every single day I'm looking for something new to learn. Why I do these podcasts. I could learn something from you. If I don't, no problem. I'm looking for something to learn. I drive to work. I'm listening to an audio. Someone invites me to something. I'll pick a book and read every day. Well, today's my day off. It's my cheat day. Not when it comes to seeking information. Because let me tell you something, dude. If I everything I want, which I'm not, well, then I don't need to do that anymore. Right? I'm fine. Okay, I got everything I want. I don't need to learn new shit. Arrived. But if you think in your head, I want more than I have, well, then you need to learn new information. The reason you have it is because you don't know how. And you don't know when you're going to learn in it. So why would you not make it like an absolute daily exercise to get more information? Because you need to get the information to change your beliefs. The beliefs change, the actions and the decisions change. Those change, and what you get changes. You're not getting what you're getting, dude. Change what you're doing. You want to change what you're doing? Change your beliefs. You want to change your beliefs? Get new information.
What would you say to somebody that would say that, oh, you sound like you're obsessed? You're obsessed with what? Like, I get that sometimes. For me, it's everything changed about 3 years ago once I became obsessed to want more, to give more, to inspire more people. but I've had to make a lot of sacrifices, and I've lost some people along the way, some friends and family members that are not as close anymore. I'm sure you've heard this in your time, man, because you spend a lot of time learning, reading, writing, doing podcasts, so businesses that you run. What would you say to somebody that says, "Fuck, you sound like you're obsessed"?
Well, I if they said that to me, I would obviously realize that when people say something to you, it's really about themselves. So if you said, "I seem obsessed," I would recognize that you are not obsessed enough. That's your problem, that's your deficiency, which is why you're projecting it onto by saying I'm obsessed. When in fact, I don't consider it obsessed. I consider it experienced. I consider it intelligent. I consider it, wise. So I wouldn't call it obsession. Now you did, that's fine, but that just shows your deficiency in that area. Just like if someone says, "Oh, you think you're so cool," dude, that dude doesn't think they're cool enough. That's the problem. That's the problem. Because usually the most confident, happy, success people, they're not talking shit. Okay?
Right.
They're not hating on people. I've never walked up to someone more successful for me and they ever said, "Dude, you're working too hard." They don't say that. They don't say, "Dude, you're obsessed." They don't say that. Usually the people that say that are the ones jealous of what they see me doing. Or they've got a deficiency and they're projecting it onto you because they see you dedicated and they see you excited and then they see you enthusiastic. And so they're like, "Oh, it's obsessed." Well, what they're saying is, "Dude, I'm not obsessed enough." But I'm not obsessed. I mean, again, Grant Cardone uses the word obsessed. Obsessed is a word. I do get obsessed with certain things at certain times, and a good thing to be obsessed. But I believe when you put down the word obsessed, what does it mean? It's focused. It means frickin' undeniable. It means frickin' driven. It means frickin', dialed, focused.
Dialed in.
Focused and obsessed to me is the thing. But I wouldn't take it as a someone's like, "You're obsessed." I'd be like, "So how can I help you get more obsessed?"
There's a reason why Bradley's podcast is called Dropping Bombs. You've been dropping so many bombs. I want to go back to salespeople for a sec. What's the biggest mistake you see them make, Brad?
Salespeople?
Yeah.
The biggest mistake I see them make is probably not asking the right questions and actively listening to people. Because, no, I'd trace that back to not seeking the right information. Because again, folks, how you kill it in sales is all over. You can learn from Grant Cardone. You can learn it from Bradley. You could probably learn it from you. You can from a million people. Jordan Belfort can teach you shit about sales. There's all kinds of people out there with the knowledge. If you don't get it, it's your fault. That's the biggest problem. Is most salespeople will try to, or ultimately end up learning it the hard way, which costs them tons of time and tons of money.
I noticed a lot of salespeople as well trying to sell to people that they shouldn't be selling to, like the unsellable. They just can't, they try to get everyone. Let me ask you this, Brad. Do you think you can sell to everyone?
I think everyone is sellable. Maybe not your product, or maybe not you. But again, we're all salespeople, buying and selling all day long, brothers. So yes, in theory, but no. Yes. I specifically tell people, I'm not going to close every deal. People get disappointed and literally, get down on themselves because they didn't close every deal. Dude, every deal is not closable. You're not gonna close me on a freaking 12-inch dildo. Period. I'm not interested. Thank you. Not interested means not interested. Now again, in some cases, not interested means they need to be sold. They need more information. And in some cases, it means not interested.
To me, the sale starts when somebody says no. I mean, before that, it's more of just taking an order. It's actually when the no is set. Would you agree?
No.
Okay.
I don't. I think a sale is made when an individual answers enough questions to yes. But a close is made after someone says no. Because here's what I teach. Listen, everyone's a salesperson, and you don't have to be a closer, make a lot of money. You know, there are great salespeople who make a ton of money. But if you become a closer, well, now you can make a fortune. Why? Well, because a close comes in when the customer said no.
Got it.
Like if you walked into LightSpeed and you said, hey, Brad, what do you guys do here? And I explained it. And I had questions and I gave you a tour. And then you said, how much? I said, it's X amount of dollars. And you're like, dude, I love it. Let's go. I sold you. You never said no. So I didn't close you. I sold you. There's the difference. I sold you. Okay. How do I close somebody? I cannot close somebody that did not object. I cannot close somebody that did not say no. So there's no such thing as a closer until the customer says no. So you said a sale, which we mean
right.
the same thing, but I sell you without you saying no, but I can't close you without you saying no. So therefore, a close job starts with no. A salesman, it starts with a handshake. How you doing? Let me show you this microphone. It's $900. Oh, it's great. It's great. Sold. Dude, I didn't close you.
I love how you differentiated those two. I've been doing it for 25 years, and I have definitely used the same terminology for sales and closing and being a closer. What's your biggest tip for a closer?
Well, in order to close somebody, the smartest thing you should do is identify and isolate the objection. Okay, you identify and isolate the objection. How you do that is simply by getting a hypothetical solution for the objection. You're only doing it to test to see if it's real. Because if you don't have the real objection or all of them, it's very, very difficult to close. So if it comes up to me, and by the way, objection to me is very simply anytime the customer won't move forward, the answer is no. So how I get someone first is I need to move them from a no to a yeah. Yeah, I've never seen anybody close by saying no. They close by getting them to say yes. So how do I get a no to a yes? And by the way, not the close, then to a yes. That's part of it. Okay. So I got to get you from a no to a yes. And how I do that is first step, identify and isolate the objection. How do I identify and isolate the objection? I got to freaking create a hypothetical solution, remove it. That's what tests it. So like, give me an objection.
I don't have the money right now.
Okay. If you did have the money right now, would you move forward?
The time doesn't feel right for me right now, Brad.
Understand that. Things everything. If the time was right, would you move forward?
I got to check with my wife.
I would freaking highly prefer that you do. We don't get in a divorce, but if wife was here and told you to pull the trigger, would you move forward?
Can you talk like how much is it again? Like what's the price again?
See, by the way, now we're negotiating. It's a different technique. But listen. And what you did is what most people do. You went from the first excuse. That's what it is. It's an objection / excuse. And then I need to identify and isolate it. How you do that is remove the hypothetical. So the hypothetical I gave you, then you came up with another reason, which means the first one wasn't really the reason.
It wasn't the real one.
Right. Or it wasn't the only one. Right. And a lot of times people won't give you the information you're looking for. So this tech.
And let's continue that. You know what, Brad? I'm really just fucking scared to sign.
Well, out of curiosity, if you had the confidence and this was the one and you were not scared, would you move forward?
Yeah, probably would.
You say probably. How do I get that certain would? Would you or wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. If you.
Okay, so I just accomplished step one. I turned you from a no to a yes, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Okay, now two is to solve the case, which is what it that made you go from no to a yes. Do you need more confidence? Right? You need to be sure. You need to be certain. You're not certain. Okay, so now I moved you to a yes, so you're not stuck anymore. But that didn't mean I got the sale. Now it identified I need to build more value and certainty into this customer. So guess how you build value and certainty? That's another part of the process. By the way, you might have to go ask a few more questions so you can build a little more value. And then at some point, it built enough value and I created enough certainty, trust, and things of that nature that yes turns into money because you closed it. They said no, you found out why, you solved the case. And by the way, you can't always solve the case, at least at that time. So like, for example, let's say you're trying to close on a house right now. And I say, listen, I got to get my wife. And then you say, if wife was here and told you that it was the house of her dreams and wanted you to buy it, would you do it? And if the answer, yeah. Okay, then there's the case you have to solve. Let's get wife. Now, let's get her here now. Put her in a Uber. But let's say my wife was in the hospital with a severe case of COVID. And I say, wait 3 days till the COVID goes away. And we'll bring her down and we'll revisit this conversation. If that's the truth, and then you try to pull out the high pressure tactic jerk off salesman technique that's taught a lot, okay? That's when you're in relationships, which means now destroying the first reason and the first thing you're attempting, because I teach people don't sell anything, okay? Build a relationship. Sell things after you build a relationship. Step one, build a relationship, not sell them anything. You want to sell somebody something? Don't sell them anything. Build a relationship, and then you'll sell them not only what you have, but probably 10 other things you didn't even realize they needed. Why? Because you were focused on building a relationship. Man, I'm looking to build a relationship first. I'm not looking to sell. First of all, what's your name? How are you, man? How you doing? What you're paying? What's your challenge? What's going on? Are you happy? What's happening, brother? And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, dude, I know how I can help this. Hey, dude, you need my shit over here to solve that for you. And all of a sudden I sell you that, and I sell you the next thing, and I sell you your brother's thing, and next thing, it's like, dude, this guy's a great salesman. No, this guy's a smart son of a bitch. He's not trying to sell anybody anything. He's trying to build relationships, because relationships are the new currency. It's the new economy. I can track every multi-million-dollar deal that it's made me more than 7 years to a relationship. Now, if you know for a fact that all of your money is coming from relationships, why would you want to make more of them? How many people have said, I got enough friends? Dude, I don't have enough damn friends. I want the whole world to be my friend. Okay, you want to be my friend, Jas? Come on now, come on.
100%, Brad. 100%. I want to bring you more value. How can I bring you more value, Brad?
Well, again, I teach people not to say that. You know why?
Okay.
You know why?
No.
Because the first you can bring me value is to not ask me how to bring me value. I get people that say, "Hey, dude, I want to serve you. I want to give value. How do I give you value? How about this? Go figure out how you can be valuable to without taking my time to tell you how to be valuable to me."
I like that.
By the way, if you break that back down to the original, guess what's doing? What's
you
that?
Cut out there.
Guess what that's actually doing? You break all the funniness and sarcasm out of it. Step one. What's step one?
Step one is building relationships.
Prepare.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if I figure out how I can build you value, obviously, folks, at some point, I'm asking is the only way. I mean, no one's. I can't doubt I'm going to ask you. But before I ask you, I'm going to go do some research. I'm going to prepare. I'm going to tell you, my friend, how I can bring value. How do I know how I can be valuable to you? Well, I can make some assumptions. Now, have you ever never make assumptions?
We make assumptions all the time. Yes.
Well, again, that's stupid ass information. That's that shit we need to unlearn, dude. Of course, you need to make some assumptions in life.
For sure.
I make assumptions all day long. And when someone says never assume, incorrect information, you need to make some assumptions. Okay? You need to start making some assumptions. Okay? Don't not make assumptions. You make assumptions. Now, let me ask you a question. I don't know you from Adam. First time we talk, all right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to make an assumption. If I could help you make twice as much money as you're making right now, would that be valuable?
Definitely.
All right, we're on a roll. I'm going to make another assumption. If I could free up time, would you find more time valuable?
For sure.
All right. So I can assume people appreciate more time, more money. What else? Man, what else? I can just assume all day and I'll bet you anything right. Why? Well, because, dude, you make some assumptions. So if you took that down to your question, and the reason why I'm hammering it is because a lot of people ask questions. And what's funny is if I that example, you can assume I want more money. You can assume I want more time. So when you say, how can I be valuable? Make me more fucking
money and free up more time.
And by the way, how do you make me more money? Get me more customers. Get me more relationship. Get me more, well, how? Well, see what I'm saying? You start to make some sense. I already know how to get you more value, bro. I refer you in deals that close tomorrow and say, hey, Brad Lee said he was on your podcast. He told me you this, and that. And man, I need this, and that. And just made $30,000 the day after we got off podcast. I didn't have to ask you how to give you value. By asking you how to give you value, I'm taking your time, aren't I?
I appreciate that. No, I appreciate that lesson.
No. I'm just, absolutely. It took me a long time to learn that because I used to do the same shit. But at the end of the day, hey, make some assumptions and bring value because you do want to provide value and you do want to serve people. The reason they serve people is because you see a lot of these gurus that are like, no, you want to be a servant leader. You want to serve people, which is true. But the way they're saying it, I think misses the mark, and most people don't really understand what you're saying. I think Zig Ziglar said it. The best way to get what you want is to help others get what they want. That is serving. Okay, so you definitely want to serve, but when someone brings you value and you start appreciating people, you can make some assumptions. Time, money, and less headaches.
Sure. Remove that friction.
So to answer your question, how can you bring me value? Some customers. Bring me some excellent employees.
Why?
Why? Because excellent employees give me more time. And they give me more money. Like, dude, so many ways you can provide value. You can make some assumptions. Never have to ask another person, how do I bring you value? Make some assumptions. I guarantee you, if you use time, money, and brain damage, less or of it, you will be the most valuable people. You will be the person everyone thinks is the most valuable.
I love it. I appreciate that, Brad. I don't think I got an answer yet about when can we expect the Hardway to be out.
Love to say in 30 days or 21 days, but it's when I'm done with it. I've got a few more chapters I'm wrapping up, and I told people a couple times about 30 days-ish. It's been probably 60 days-ish. So I don't want to make a promise I can't keep. So here's what I'll say. I'll say soon. And I'll say probably in the next month or less, you will be able to see it on Amazon. All the books
for pre-orders and so on and so forth.
You can pre-order it now. You can pre-order it at bradlee.com. And by the way, I highly recommend you do pre-order it because out of all the pre-orders, not only are they going to get a limited edition signed copy, but those are going to be the people that I choose one name from and buy book back for $100,000. So not only the pre-orders, get a limited signed edition, they also might get a phone call and $100,000 for the book. All the people that read the book are going to make millions by applying it, but only the pre-order are in the old lottery for $100,000 buyback.
Well, we'll make sure we have the link in the episode descriptions below. Where else can people find out more information? Where's the best place for people to get more information about everything Brad Lee? Is it bradlee.com?
Yeah, if you go to bradlee.com, you see books, clothes, all the things I'm into, Closer School, LightSpeed VT, what you actually do. A lot of people think I'm a social media influencer, and I'm not. I'm the CEO of a software company. But yeah, Brad.com, Instagram, just Google me, really, just Google me. You can't miss me.
I appreciate your time. I appreciate the lessons. Anyone who watched or listened to this, that is definitely a salesperson. I mean, there's so many nuggets in here. You've already taught them how to make hundreds of thousands of dollars extra just by the 2-3 questions. And I'm such a strong believer of sometimes it's just slightly moving the needle in the way that you ask a question, the words that you use, which you dove into. So thank you so much for that, Brad.
Dude, I appreciate you handling like you did, because again, a lot of times we'll get offended because I used what someone did to make the example lesson, and you just did it gracefully and you smiled. That's awesome, bro. You're a dude, I can tell right now.
You're really a stand-up guy. Thank you.
My pleasure, man. Be nice, guys. Peace.
All right, peace. Take care.
This has been the REC Experience Podcast with Jas Takhar, an REC Canada production.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching and listening. Please take a second right now to subscribe and follow us on whatever podcast platform you're watching or listening. It means the world to me. Thank you.